Hey Scorpio, it's your honest homegirl Kᴇɪ, and this is your timeless reading. So when you see this reading is for you. Take heed to what resonates with your spirit and leave everything else for another Scorpio placement healing, homie, okay? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And somebody asked me if I'm doing readings again. That's not until after the retrograde. Unless you are a returning client of mine, those are the only people I'll do readings for during a retrograde. But Scorpio, before I get into your reading, your intuitive messages were, well, one, I picked up that you've been eating a lot more than usual. I don't know if it's due to stress, but for some of you, I feel like you're actually like really hungry. And it may be due to you, I don't know, the changes in the season. Maybe you just eat more in the summer and you eat less in the winter. Like, I know me, I gain weight in the summer, I lose weight in the winter, and I have no idea why. But I feel like there's just something with that going on with you guys. Just make sure it's not emotional eating, okay? And if it is, then you need to be more aware of it, and you need to become a little bit more proactive when it comes to physical activity, okay? I don't care what kind of physical activity it is, you need to do something, even if it's just walking up and down some steps. Now, when it comes to your mentality and how you're thinking, Scorpio, Spirit wants you to see things from a different perspective. Spirit wants you to see things. You know how when you were a teenager and it was just like, nobody could stop me. I'm going to do what I want to do. Nobody's going to influence me on what I want to do and how I want to do it. And even if your parents told you to do things this way, you just did it your way. Spirit wants you to get back into that energy of not giving a fuck. Yeah, I said it. Spirit wants you to get back into the energy of just not giving a fuck about what people think. Because at the end of the day, people are going to have an opinion like they have an a-hole, and everybody got one, right? Oh, okay. So, yeah, it's time for you to really just not care anymore about what people think. Worry about what you think of you, okay? Worry about, and not the things that people have put in your ear to make you question who you are. Really ask yourself and sit down with yourself. What are some things that you feel that you need to work on? What do you feel are things that you can implement into your life? What are things that are going to make you happy? Think about you. Water therapy, okay, is the best therapy for you Scorpios, okay, at this time. A lot of you guys don't worry about finances. Do not worry about income. Do not worry about your leadership role. Nobody's going to take that from you. It's coming, okay? Whatever you're seeking, it is seeking you, and allow it to flow to you, okay? So continue to spend money feeling happy, okay? I encourage everyone to do this, but when you pay your bills, be happy to pay your bills. Why? Because you were able to have the luxury of enjoying whatever bill that you were paying, whether it's your lights, whether it's your gas, whether it's your water, to have your water therapy session in the tub, whether it's your Netflix account, whether it's your music from Apple Music, or whatever the case may be. Be happy to pay it because you were able to enjoy it in the meantime before you had to pay it, right? Okay, 333 on the phone. There's a lot of personal growth right now, okay? A lot of you guys are really working on yourselves, okay? And you should be working on yourself for yourself and no one else. If you have to take a break, you take that break. Because sometimes you have to rest and regroup in order to get that aha moment, that answer that you've been seeking for, because you were so frustrated and worried. You weren't able to even sit still enough to get the messages, to become more aware of what's going on. And sometimes it's you just sitting still that made everything all better again. What's for you is for you, and it will always be for you, and it will not go anywhere. Don't worry about that. Anything that leaves, you just know that it wasn't meant for you. Rejection is your protection, okay? And we're going to leave it at that. But let's get into your reading, okay? Divine Spirit, what's going on with Scorpio? Okay. All right, some of you have a problem, okay? Some of you may need to have the courage to face this problem, face this addiction that you are facing, okay? Some of you are doing too much of something, whether it's too much eating, because this is triggered by your emotions, okay, and it's becoming a little toxic because now you're gaining more weight. Now that you're gaining more weight, it turns into you having more health issues. From more health issues, it turns into you having to take medications, and you see the downside effect of something like that. For some of you, this is drinking. Same thing. You're drinking too much. You're killing your liver, okay? You're smoking too much. You're messing up your lungs. There's something here that you need to face. You need to have the courage to sit there and tell yourself, I have a problem and I need to fix it. For some of you, there is a Leo. Okay, there's a Leo in your life that is dealing with low vibrational frequencies, whether these are the people that they're hanging themselves around, okay, whether they may have some type of addictions that you may not know about. Sometimes addictions could be just thinking negatively entirely too much, causing and manifesting things in your life that are just chaotic for no reason at all. Something just tapped on my window, but what it was, I have no idea. Why every time I do a Scorpio reading, there's also some spooky stuff going on around here? See, I ain't scared, but there's always some stuff going on in your reading. I don't be mentioning it all the time, but there's always something going on in y'all reading. Y'all better cut it out, okay? Anyway, so there is a need to face something, okay? Some of you need to face the fact that you have a Leo in your life and they're going through a lot of things right now. You can't avoid it. You can't buy stuff to make them feel better about themselves. If you're enabling this behavior, you need to stop it, because this is going to only get worse. Whatever you've been doing may not have been working, and you need to try other things, other options, other alternatives in order to sit there and progress, okay? And this goes for your addictions. If you are feeling emotionally imbalanced, you have to find other things, okay, to help you. Because right now, especially my Scorpio men, you may be feeling like, I'm going to be honest with you, this is a personal theory, ideology, whatever you want to call it, that I've had in my mind, right? And I've started noticing with my own personal life that it seems like from 2006, from whatever happened in 2006 to 2016, it has come back around again. It has come back around again. However you've been feeling, however, whatever emotions were going on, whatever was going on in your household, depending on your age, okay? Like, whatever you were facing at that time, whatever was going on between 2006, I want you guys to remember from 2006 to 2016 what was going on in your life, because I feel like that came back around again for a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys, this has a lot to do with maybe a teenage son of yours or a young son of yours, or something occurred between you and your son. Your son may have been a teenager at that time and something occurred between the two of you, and there's some mental and emotional healing that needs to occur. You may have had toxic behaviors as a teenager, or these toxic behaviors started when you were a teenager, and it was all due to cover up all the pain, all the frustration, all the things that you've been through. There's something within those years. It may have triggered you back in, depending on your age, it may have triggered you in 2006 to 2016 to do something that you used to do as a teenager. And it's a bad habit. Okay, for some of you, this is your son. Your son is picking up some toxic behaviors from you, or the other parent, or people around them, because they could have siblings. Okay, and they're picking up the other siblings' bad behaviors. It's like allowing them, like, if they could do it, I could do it. If they can, because like for them, for the younger person, the younger child, they're looking at their older sibling like they're using something as an excuse. So now they're going to use it as an excuse and say they have mental and emotional problems and stuff like that. For some of you, your actual teenage son does have some mental and emotional healing that needs to occur. Okay. People don't understand too that siblings can cause trauma on other siblings. I didn't realize that until I started to heal, and I had to apologize to my brothers. I did, whether they accept my apology or not, but I had to apologize to them, just like how my parents were putting their trauma on me, and then their trauma is being put on me, and then I'm putting that trauma on my brothers because I'm the oldest. Be mindful of that too if you have children. It's like the eldest is like, it's not that they are purposely doing it. They don't even realize it. But most people don't understand that the eldest or the child that was the most responsible had a lot of pressure put on them. And their childhoods have been robbed of them. And parents, especially in our community, my community, we were kids raising kids that weren't our kids. Putting responsibilities on children that wasn't their responsibility to do it or have to do those things. And it put a lot of pressure on us. And I'm speaking from my own experience. I literally hated the fact that I had to take care of my brothers. Why? Because all my friends didn't have that responsibility, even with them having siblings. They did not have to take care of their siblings at all. They didn't have to watch them. They didn't have to feed them. They didn't have to make sure their homework was done. They didn't have to do none of that. They were able to have their childhood. And yeah, I understand the circumstances that may happen, but who's really to blame for that? That's not your oldest child's fault that y'all decided to sit there and have kids when you weren't financially ready to have them. Why are you putting that burden on them? You got to think about those things. Those things affect your children. It affects their thinking, their value, their worth. If they're not sitting there doing something for you, a favor for you, they don't feel worthy. They don't feel like they're good enough. And then they go out there in this world and they sit there over pleasing people that are not worth it. And then they get in these toxic relationships, whether it's with a lover or a friend, and they're always sitting there trying to people please people. People don't understand that a lot of this stuff. Listen, think about what was going on in 2006 to 2016, Scorpio. It's connected to this stuff here. If you showed your kids an unhealthy way to cope with their issues, to cope with their problems, to cope with things, they're doing that right now. It may be a different way of doing it, but it's the same thing. You're finding something unhealthy to help you cope with the pain, cope with the frustrations. Some of you have a baby girl, like an infant baby girl. If you are pregnant and you're due soon, your baby girl, well, congratulations, and sorry if you didn't want to know what you were having. Some of you are having a girl. This girl is going to be a Leo or have prominent Leo placements, okay? For some of you, this behavior has happened with your, if you have a teenager, right? And your teenager is a Leo or has Leo placements. Something occurred when she was little. She saw something. She experienced something. And that has stuck with her in the most deepest, most unhealthiest way that you could imagine. Something traumatized her. And I don't know if she's spoken on this. Something happened. And she's gonna have to learn how to heal. And the only way she's going to heal is through communication, through what makes her happy. Some may have to, if this is you, or if you may have picked up bad habits when you were a teenager and they're still affecting you now, type of thing, you may want to go to some type of group therapy. Sometimes group therapy works better for people than just one-on-one therapy because it gives them the feeling of I'm not alone. Okay, so if you've been doing one-on-one therapy, or you've had your children or somebody go to one-on-one therapy because you felt like it would be discreet, or whatever discreet. See, Scorpio, what you fail to realize, you like to be secretive. Everybody else doesn't like to be secretive sometimes, and sometimes group therapy may help someone that needs to feel like they are not alone. See, Scorpios are okay with being by themselves and going deep, a little too deep sometimes. And that may be your toxic behavior right now, that you're going a little too deep, and you need to just go deep enough to where you don't sit there and bring any detriment toward you mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. Okay, don't go down the rabbit hole too far, because sometimes you go down too far and you wasn't spiritually ready for it, and then it's something else. Some of you need to definitely talk to your child. Talk to them more. Talk to them. Not talk at them, talk to them. Even if it's the smallest things. Even when they don't want them hugs, deep down inside, they really be loving them hugs. They'll sit there and tell their friends, oh, my mom is so this, my dad is so this. But they be loving the fact that you give them that attention. Especially if you got any Leos, you dealing with Leos, or you got Leo placement somewhere in your chart. You guys love attention. Do something fun. You got to do something fun. You got to keep fun in your life, okay? Some of you Scorpio men are divine masculines. You're facing the fact that there's a lot of mental and emotional healing that you still haven't done yet. That's still bothering you. Things are still triggering you. Past mistakes. But everything is in alignment, or will fall into alignment for you if you surrender to spirit. A lot of you divine masculines are actually facing the things that have been mentally challenging you right now. You're facing it now. You have the strength to face it. For my Scorpio women, if you have a divine masculine in your life, he's facing the things that are bothering him. He has no choice. None of us have a choice. If you've been with me from the beginning, even when I've deleted all my YouTube videos and came back and stuff like that, I've been telling people you are going to be forced to do your shadow work. If you weren't doing it actively, I would say a good 5 years ago, right now you are being forced to face yourself and see yourself, and spirit is going to show you who you are through all the people you encounter. Spirit's going to show you. You ain't got no choice but to face you. You have no choice but to sit there and heal the things that have been going on within you. Okay? You guys have to start communicating. A lot of you guys been playing games when it comes to your shadow work. You've been playing a lot of games. Oh, but the light is on now. It's on. All them skeletons you had in your closet that you thought was hidden, all that stuff coming out. There's no more games to be played. You're seeing that. There's no more games to be played. You cannot sit here and not face yourself. The sooner you face yourself, and the sooner you hold yourself accountable, and as soon as you sit there and get yourself back on track, everything that you wanted will be aligned for you. You know that saying people sit there and say this year is for me, it's personal type of thing? Yeah, this is personal. This is you looking at yourself in the mirror. Whether you've allowed certain things to continue in your life that you knew you shouldn't have continued in your life, but you're doing it for the sake of other people, you did more damage than good. And you're going to have to hold yourself accountable for that. If you have children, or you may have younger siblings around you, you are going to have to hold yourself accountable for however you made people feel. Even if it wasn't intentional, even when you thought you were doing the right thing, even when you thought you were saying the right thing. Even though you said it to scare them so they couldn't do something. Who are you to stop them from going through whatever lessons and blessings they have to go through for themselves? Some of you need to apologize to your children. Sorry for me not being able to be the parent that you needed me to be. And me being selfish, being the parent I thought I wanted to be to you. Just because you needed certain things as a kid doesn't mean that that's what your child needed. Did you ever ask your child what they needed from you? And a lot of you probably can't say that you did because your parents didn't do that with you. You may not have needed them to do that, but maybe your kids need you to do that. You gotta do things differently. Some of you are going through a midlife crisis. And I don't like using the word midlife crisis, but that's the word I can use to describe what's going on. You're evolving, you're changing, you're ascending, and you're just unsure. But all this stuff is coming up to the forefront so that you can face it, so that you can fix it, so that you can heal it, so that you can move forward and be more grounded in yourself, more grounded for your family. Your children could be more grounded. I'm telling you, when you heal your bloodline. Whether they want to heal or not, they will be triggered. And they still have that free will and that choice to heal or not to heal. Candle went out. Spirit always be telling me once the candle goes out, I done said what I needed to say. But I'm still going to get your homegirl advice. We'll get a positive affirmation and an oracle message. Yeah, those that have been putting in the work, your divine partner is on its way. If you've been letting go of the things that you need to let go of, your divine partner is on its way. Your divine partner is right where you are right now. Okay? We also have let it flow to you. Don't go looking for it. Don't go chasing it. None of that. If it doesn't flow with ease, why are you doing it? Okay? Life is beautiful when you start to see God in everything. There's a lesson that you're going through right now that you need to see God in that situation. Because sometimes that lesson is to teach you something about yourself and not really with that person. That person is a reflection of you inside. And then we have 3 weeks from now. So this may happen 3 weeks from now when all of this stuff is happening, or around the new moon, okay? Or 3 weeks from now, you may be encountering your divine partner. There's no room for doubt. Somebody was just doubting me, and what the card say? There ain't no room for doubt. So let's get a positive affirmation card for you. Okay. So we have wonder, playfulness, and vitality. I feel like if you want to feel young, you gotta act young. Not act young, but be active to continue to feel young. Okay, keep your body in shape, drink your water, drink your smoothies with some sea moss and bladderwrack, okay? For those that are stressed, there's a herb called ashwagandha, if I'm pronouncing it right. Type it in how it sounds and it will definitely come up on Google search. But that helps with stress. That helps with anxiety. I always put it either in my tea or my coffee, okay? And Spirit wants you to really just think about all the good things that can happen. You're always wondering all the bad that can happen. What if you sat there and just wondered about all the good that could happen to you, for you, and around you, and for the people that are in your energetic fields, okay? Speak life into things. Stop speaking death by thinking the worst. Think the best of yourself, of others, okay? And then we have blessed change. A major life change brings great blessings and positive energy. Surround yourself with positive people and situations and avoid negativity. Okay? Scorpio, you know you guys is real good to get into the drama, whether it's your drama or other people's drama. Stay away from it. But Scorpio, I love you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at The Honest Homegirl. Mwah.